Tim Black.
Senators voting in the affirmative: Baldwin, Blunt Rochester,
Up, 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 up.
Heinrich, Hirono, Kane. Senators voting in the affirmative: Baldwin, Blunt Rochester, Durbin, Heinrich.
I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, Tim Black, why'd you put that in there? I don't know, man. I thought it was funny. I mean, she ain't get hurt. As long as you ain't get hurt, I can laugh. You know what I'm saying? Have a little chuckle out of it. Yeah, she's somebody who said she was Native American in order to save money on college tuition. I always found that funny. You know what I'm saying? I always found it funny that you would do something like that and still go into politics knowing people going to find out. And just be like, you know what I'm saying? Because all of us got things in our lives that we done, but normal people with shame, we'd be like, nah, I ain't going to get involved in that. They're going to find out. You know, I used to look on people's homework papers. You know what I'm saying? Think about it, man. If you're a politician, now everybody watching this show has things in their past that they wouldn't want people to find out. But see, when you run for political office, you're running against somebody and they have a vested interest in exposing those things that you don't want to be exposed. So a typical person doesn't want to be a politician if for no other reason for that. They don't want it to be exposed. Those things they don't want to be exposed. You know, if you're a young lady, maybe you had a girlfriend in your first year of college or something. Maybe you had a girlfriend on campus and you don't want nobody to know that. Now, you know, you was experimenting and you kind of found your way and decided, that ain't what you want. Well, you know, if you become a politician, they're going to find that girl, right? They're going to find her. You're going to be up there politicking one day, and here she comes. Hi, Nadine. Remember me? How's the husband? The kids. See, these are the things that keep normal people from not doing certain things. That's why I try to tell you, the majority of politicians are not normal people, man. They do not have humility. Something wrong with them. Something wrong with them. Because we all have things. Elizabeth Warren lied to get into college to pay less money, pretended to be of a protected group in order to do that and just made up shit. My Nama is Navajo. Native Americans is like, she speak with forked tongue. Yeah. You know, they don't play with that casino money. They don't play, man. Nah, ain't no way. And that's what's so funny is that the Native Americans of those tribes, they don't play. You can't just claim them. Anybody can come to America and say they Black American. People are like, you look black to me. You can't do that with Native Americans. They'll sue your ass. Oh, no, no. So anyway, I just thought it was funny. Thought it was funny when she fell. Because she's a liar, and sometimes liars fall. All right, guys, let's keep going. My next clip I'm about to play, we're going to take another look at the Cincinnati Brawl. Now this, I want to go back at it. I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, oh, Tim, no. We were fighting in the comment section. Sometimes fighting is good. Sometimes it's good for people to say they disagree with me because they might be right. I shouldn't have listened to Grandma. I should have went with my gut. You know what I'm saying? I knew there was conflicting stories. So what I did since last night is I took some time. I went and got some clips. I got clips from other people who also saw clips. And we're going to get some different interpretations. Ladies and gentlemen, the Cincinnati Brawl, Part 2.
Hirono, Kane.
Next on deck with Tim Black.
Breaking news, breaking news, breaking news. So they just released pictures, raw, gruesome pictures of the woman who got stretched like a limo in Colorado's street brawl. And you see the tinted windows. This was horrible. You know what I mean? And I know she, wish she went and just got help and let them guys handle it themselves. But this is sad. I hope the best for her. That was a hard punch, and we all seen it when she went out. I was like, I pray this girl is not, deceased. You know what I'm saying? Looked like she went straight on to heaven after she got hit. You know what I'm saying? But this is a picture, man, and it was sad. And they blaming the city. They not even blaming the people because it was a beginning and it was an end.
And
Listen to
various
it.
facial injuries. Senator Marino said he thought Holly was dead when he first saw the video. Now take another look here. She gets knocked out by a man in the middle of the fight. What started the fight is still unknown, but Cincinnati Councilwoman Victoria Parks appeared to blame the victims, commenting on a Facebook video, quote, "They begged for that beatdown. I am grateful for the whole story." Now, we've reached out to the Councilwoman for comment.
This is what I'm trying to tell you. There's a lot more to the story. You have to dig under video after video after video after video. Now, I found this brother on TikTok, obviously, giving me a different perspective, but it's not just him. Here goes my Latino brother.
This unwarranted.
We have to talk about the Cincinnati Brawl. And hear me out. Y'all going to want to listen the whole way through because there's a lot of misinformation that black folks just trample on these people for no reason. The videos that came out incriminated black folks really bad and made them appear really bad. Just, I don't know how any other words for it. It looked really bad. But after further research, like some of you guys just don't do, it comes to conclusion that that white man smacked the face of a black male, which that black male didn't respond the way he should and reacted to that smack. Someone else got involved, and that's how you have the whole crowd of people trampling on these people. And I'm not saying it's okay. The mob mentality, that whole jumping, no one's agrees with that. That was actually brutal, hard to watch. Especially what happened to that lady. I don't know how she ended up on the floor unconscious, but it happened. But the man should have known to keep his hands to his damn self. And then you have J.D. Vance and all these people enabling that white man for being a victim. They're enabling him to be a victim when he clearly wasn't a victim. He started it, but sure enough, the people around there finished it. I'm tired of this shit that I hear people starting stuff and then they want to play victim at the end. And then you have public officials, you have political individuals, you have the vice president defending those white folks and even reaching out to them, enabling them with their victim behavior when they're clearly the ones who started it. And what I'm pissed off most about it is that nobody is talking about what started the verbal altercation to begin with. That's what pisses me off. But you have all these officials, all these people that are supposed to be leaders defending victim mentality and blaming it on the black folks and wanting them to be arrested. You know, two wrongs don't make a right. But keeping your hands to yourself is very important because this is all could have been avoided if that man practiced what they normally preach and just simply walk away. I don't get it. I don't get how black folks are the ones that are appearing bad in this situation. It was out of context, so first videos that came out. But when you see what happened at the very beginning, when that man smacked the face of that black male, which he should have reacted. But he didn't. He stepped away, and someone took his place, and a bunch of people handled the situation, which was wrong. We need, from our actual leaders, to hold everyone accountable. That's what actual leaders do, is hold everybody accountable. The people that trampled those people, and the person that actually started the altercation to begin with. With that being said, like this video, comment, let me know what you guys think, and as always, follow me.
Yeah, I wanna comment. I'll put his name. Puffy Lion Dog. Okay, it's Puffy Lion Dog on TikTok, man. I appreciate him for being so straight up and honest about the situation, man. It really helps. Before we go to the next clip, I got one more clip on this. I want to point out in the beginning, he said, it made black people look really, really bad. It made black people look like white people. Yeah, it made black people look like white people. This is the thing that really gets me, right? And sometimes, man, I know sometimes I joke too much. I was telling my wife, I said, you know what? I always wanted to be like in comedy and like do comedy with my news, but sometimes I do it when it's not necessary. So I want to apologize for that. People take this shit very serious, and I need to take it as serious. Even sometimes when it doesn't result in death, it's still serious. I've covered such grim stories. Sometimes when it's just a fight, I'm like, okay, it's lighter, I can lighten up. But the racial overtones are so serious. See, what this brother's saying here needs everyone needs to take a look at this, man. What these people, some conservatives, not all, I've been reminded, Tim, don't put all conservatives, because we got some good conservatives who are on that bullshit. They're not in denial, okay? What gets them so upset is that they see black people fighting back. They think it's black people being the aggressor when it's black people fighting back or black people defending themselves. They're not used to seeing black people do that. When you say these black people look really bad, now they look like white people. But they're not white people. They're responding. White people didn't respond. The history in America is not white people responding to violence on black people. It's the opposite. It's never been that. It's never been white people responding to black people attacking them. It's been white people attacking black people dying, getting lynched, fighting back sometimes and then dying, fighting back and then getting lynched, fighting back, getting almost killed, and been put to jail, sent to jail. Look what they did to MLK. How many times he got hit in the head with rocks? They keep talking about MLK was this guy they love invoking MLK whenever they want to make a point. The character, the color of the character, don't judge them by the character. Don't judge them by the color of this skin, but the character. That's what MLK say. Yeah, y'all used to kick his ass. Y'all did kill him. You killed him. Blew his head damn near off his shoulders. And then you invoke his name like we need to know something. Like we forgot something that he taught us. What about what you supposed to learn? So nah, the same thing with the riverboat. Same ideal thing with the riverboat, y'all. That was black people reacting to white people who didn't expect black people to defend themselves. That's what happened here. These Russians didn't realize they were in America, because in Russia, there are very few black people. You can treat them how you want because what will happen in Russia? What will happen? They will gang up and kill that black person or those black people. But you're not in Russia when you here. And in a neighborhood where there are black people. So I just want to clear it up. I want to underscore that. I want to make sure people understand that. Nah, my brother, and look, and I'm not knocking Puffy Lion. I appreciate him for speaking up. You know, I appreciate that, real talk. But nah, it didn't make black people look bad. It made black people look like white people who have a history of doing exactly what you just saw, exactly like it, for no reason than they were black. There are no white sundown towns where white people can't go. There are literal towns in this country where they posted signs after slavery in the 1900s that black people should not be caught dead in, or you will be dead when the sun go down. Where are the towns? Where are the towns that white people couldn't be in after sundown? I mean, I need to ask J.D. Vance. Hey, J.D. Vance, where are the towns that white people can't be in after sundown historically in this country? Vivek Ramaswamy, where are the towns that Indian people can't be in? Ever. What else towns? I don't recall that being on the map. There was an actual, black people had to have survival skills. They put out a book. They made a movie about it. Viggo Mortensen was in this book. It was in this movie. It was a literal book put together by black people trying to keep black people from getting killed so often on the road. Someone in the comment section knows the name of the book. In the book, it showed black people was like a map of all the places you could stop that were safe. Because black people never knew where they could stop, where it was safe. So this book enabled them to be safe as they traveled, so they wouldn't get lynched, so they wouldn't be beaten and raped. Come on, miss it. White people don't have that story. There's nothing like that. What there is Twitter and Elon Musk going, when white people beat up black people, that was him. Elon Musk was on Twitter tweeting about the disparity between white and black people. Dog, as if anything. And there was absolutely nothing black America could do in the month of Sundays that would equal what white people have done to black Americans. Not Africans, black Americans. There is nothing ever, Elon Musk, that black Americans could ever do that can equal what white America has done to black Americans. No amount of your bullshit videos that you float up in your algorithm to keep your prize demographics happy and rage baiting. We know how you do. I've used Grok. I know what Grok's about. He got an entire AI that will help you rage bait and keep people on the app. All you got to do is ask it. It'll tell you. It'll tell you what time of day to post, what to talk about, and how to keep them there. He's got it down to a science. We're going to keep going, but I just wanted to be very, very clear here, Johnson. This is not equal. This is not the same. And just because somebody gets punched in the mouth don't mean they didn't deserve to get punched in the mouth. Doesn't mean they were in the right. As in most things, when you start looking, they have a lot to do with who you think was wrong or who was right. Let's keep going.
All right, you guys, I guess this video needs a little bit more clarification because there are still people in the comments that are very confused. But here's the thing, you guys. It is all about transparency, right? It is all about transparency. The way that the news is circulating this material right now, the way that the police are talking about the incident that ended up taking place inside Cincinnati over the weekend, they are one side and one side only. They are strictly looking at this as a massive attack against this white couple. And here's the thing, as the video indicated, the white guy assaulted the black guy first. I am not saying what took place after this is okay. Not at all, you guys. Both sides of the party are completely wrong. Both sides of the party should be arrested and go to jail, period. Absolutely, period, you guys. But the whole point of this is the media and the police are still one-sided. They are not showing how this altercation took place, with that white guy slapping that black dude in his fucking face. That is what I am getting at, you guys. They are not showing that. They are not showing the beginning of the altercation. And that's what it comes down to, you guys. It's transparency. You have to make sure that you show all sides of the story. If not, look at what took place over in fucking Florida with that whole fucking incident with the guy in the car and the fucking police officer fucking assaulting that dude in the fucking car. There needs to be transparency across the board. It cannot be one side only. Let me know your thoughts in the comments, you guys. Hopefully I don't have to fucking clear myself up again on this one.
Let me start over. I'm sorry. Thanks, Buck. It matters. It matters how this happened. It matters who began it. I'm not saying, I do not support anybody getting stomped through the earth. You can't try to stomp somebody through the earth and think it's okay. If you hit them, you knock them out, they fall, you stomp them through the earth. To pound on them on the ground, that is a charge. I'm not going to move away from that. That's a fact. But it's a difference between somebody that you hunted like prey. It's a difference between that, and it's a difference between a fight that somebody else started with you. Or if you start a fight and somebody else finishes it and just doesn't stop when you want them to stop. You know, in life, you don't always get what you want. And when you start something, you have no control over how it ends. Shannon Shaw was just saying how he tried to talk to ESPN and try to reason with them. He tried to reason with them and say, hey, my brother just got inducted into the Hall of Fame. We're going to celebrate that this weekend. Can't you wait a few days until after we do that to announce that you're firing me? I don't want this to overshadow my big brother's moment. We're making history. 2 brothers inducted into the Football Hall of Fame. And ESPN said no. And they let his ass go yesterday. Why don't I feel bad for Shannon Sharp? I don't feel bad for him because you don't get to dictate the narrative and you don't get to dictate how someone else responds and you don't get to put things on your timetable. So if you start a fight with somebody and they whoop your ass and when you're ready to cry uncle, they're like, nah, I ain't ready yet. That can happen. That's why We mind our business. We don't hurl slurs. And we keep our hands to ourselves. And when we in Rome, we act like we in Rome. And when we look around and there's faces that look different than ours, we watch our mouths. I used to go fishing. Me and my peoples used to go fishing, right? And some of the places, some places in Maryland can get a little Alabama-ish, a little West Virginia-ish. You understand what I'm saying? When you start driving away from DC and keep on going past, you know what I'm saying? Go eastern, keep going. Well, you see nothing but like bikes and pickup trucks and Confederate flags, baby. That's where sometimes the best fish are. But you know what else is there? Ass whoopings. Places to be buried and nobody finds you again. When I go into, we want to pick up a soda. I walk into a place to open the door and it's like 20 white guys. Do-rags, Confederate flags, shirts and shit. And you know what I don't do? Mean mug one of them and call them the equivalent of a slur. Because what can happen? And what I damn sure won't do is walk up to one of them and slap them in the face. Because what might happen? But see, here's the thing, man. This is what I think. I think that there are white people who have never had to survive the world where they weren't the dominant. So they don't know how to act. They do not know how to conduct thyself. They are used to not having to care how they treat black people. And just like the people on that boat who didn't realize other black people gonna help other black people because we tired of taking it on the chin, they didn't think that was gonna happen when they were beating up on that one security guard. They didn't realize there was a boat of black people in the water who weren't gonna stand for that. I'm gonna leave it here, man. Look, I'm not condoning violence, but I am condoning justice, and I am condoning people sticking up for themselves. And I am condoning a hard head make a soft behind. And that ain't my rule. That's the rule of life. You may disagree with this commentary. If you do, I understand. Send your email to yourmamashouse@timblacktv.com. You're welcome. All right, y'all.
What do you think a plant is? Maybe people don't understand the definitions of these words.
Let's keep going, man. We're on the roll now. We done we got ready now. We rolling now. Let's go. Hey.
Next on deck with Tim Black.
I'm not too proud to say that I am wrong about Trump. I'm a proud Democrat.
How so?
And he's done a lot of things. Immigration. I'm happy about what's happening with immigration. I thought the stock market would tank, and I'm pretty happy with my 401k. There's a few things that I just thought things would go wrong, and I'm very happy.
Well, that is big of you to say. It'll probably lose you some friends in this polarized environment that we're in right now. But there's nothing wrong with being happy with results, no matter who gives them to you, right? So I appreciate your candor. Next.
And you know what? A lot of calls saying the exact same thing. And the sad part is that she feels that she can't say it, you know?
Next on deck with Tim Black.
Yeah, you know what, man? It's okay for Black Americans to say it. Yeah, it's got to be okay for Black Americans to say how they really feel, man. And I'm seeing brothers and sisters from all across the internet stand up and say it. And I appreciate it, man. It's empowering. I know that you may face backlash from people in your group. You know what I'm saying? People that know you even. Particularly my people on Facebook, man, who have their home Facebook accounts. They got regular Facebook accounts. People know them. They use their real name. They get backlash for that. They get ostracized. You know, there are people, literally people and families that don't talk to each other because somebody said Trump did a good job. Really. And that Biden didn't do a good job. Really. That's how bad it's gotten, man. Whole families getting split up. Marriages, families, all over what? Over an opinion of how the country's doing at the moment. And this lady said, when you talk about someone's 401k, we're talking about her ability to be freedom, about her living situation. This is not just some theoretical stuff. This ain't about checking boxes in the polity tic-tac-toe board. We're talking about her actual money, how her retirement is being invested. And she's saying she sees positive returns on that. Because you know they all said that we were going to a deep recession if Trump got in. Then when Trump announced the tariff, they all said the world's going to go to hell. We all going to be eating out of soup can. We got to go down to the pond and find a rock and put it in some water and boil it and make rock soup, because there's going to be nothing on the shelves because Trump's going to mishandle everything. And then when it didn't happen, well, then we switched the story. We switched his focus again, because then, can't admit that it didn't get worse. It got better. Our economy is better right now than it was under Biden. And you would think it's in the toilet. You would think it's in the toilet. And what I mean by that is just, I don't be so much concerned about stocks. I'm talking about your ability to buy food. The prices have gone down from where they were. And that's enough for a person to say, hey, I acknowledge that. One last thing, she said immigration. You know the price you got to pay for that if you say that if you're a Black American? These people have Black Americans, and I'm not talking about the politicians, and I'm not talking about the commentators. They got to say shit to keep their audience, okay? But there are regular Americans who aren't working in politics or in media who are convinced that there's something wrong for Black people to want less immigration coming in, less people coming into the country as far as immigrating. And they make that a white supremacist thing. That's what they make that like you are evil. You're evil for wanting less competition and less people accessing resources out of your city. Less fighting over meager resources that are in your city, the budgets. We all know most of the budget in these cities go to law enforcement, go to jails and cops. That's what most of it goes to. You know what I'm saying? That's the biggest expense of a city. That in schools, then hospitals, then roads, highways. But it is downright sad. It is downright sad, man. The number of Black Americans that I run across online, and I hope it's not in the real world, man, where they're just carrying this cross for people to be able to come into America as if that's a positive for us. It's like, look, man, there's nothing wrong with you wanting to help other people. I get that. But there is never, ever anything wrong with you making sure your house is in order first. And Black Americans, our house is not in order. It's nowhere near in order, Johnson. How are half of the homeless families in America Black when we only make up 14% of the population? How in the hell could you fix your mouth? Yeah, because Jasmine Crockett said that. How could you? No, who was it? It was It was Tiffany Cross she was on CNN and she was telling this Jewish sister, she said, don't fix your mouth to say. Because she was defending migrants being deported, saying they should not be deported and they were being thrown in concentration camps. And the Jewish lady was like, what? Concentration camps? That's offensive. That's an insult to Jewish people. And she said, don't you fix your mouth to say you should be upset about these people being put in concentration camps. Don't fix your mouth to be, why are you upset? How dare you say that? You shouldn't even fix your mouth to say that. That's what she said. She said you shouldn't be able to fix your mouth to say that. Now, you know what, Tiffany Cross? Maybe this video clip finds you and those like you who think as you do. Tamika Mallory, My Zone, any of you, so-called street politicians, street active, whatever that is. What you should be saying is, Black Americans, when we are half of Black families, half of the homeless families are Black. In a country where we're only 14% of the population, we are 50% of homeless families in America, and you should never fix your mouth to say bring anybody into this country until those people are off the fucking street. How dare you fix your mouth to champion for anybody to get any relief in this country before fixing that problem? You sellouts. How dare you fix your mouth to talk about men who decided they want to be women or are women trapped in men's bodies? How dare you fix your mouth to champion for them? When Black women died, 3 of the rape, Black women with uteruses who are giving birth died 3 times more likely than white women. How dare you fix your mouth to champion for men who decide to become women, who say they are trapped in women's bodies, before you say fix that statistic for Black women? How dare you fix your mouth? And last but not least, Dr. Jared Ball, how dare you fix your mouth to say, to snicker and laugh, you clown, over me putting it down passionately for my people, while you think this is a game. Ninja. Some people care. You high-hat, high-ass, high-yellow, high-hat motherfucker. Shame on you. Take your degree and shove it up your ass. You and 3 other academics that look just like you. I don't give a shit how prolific a speaker you are. It don't mean nothing if you ain't saying nothing. Use all the Queen's English you want. Use all the 5-letter words you want, the $5 words you want. But if you ain't saying nothing that empowers Black people, what are you saying? Nothing. Nothing at all. All right.
I really don't know what he said at the end of that sentence. I don't think he knows what he said either. Look.
Most news shows are suspect. They don't focus on Black issues, and when they do, it's all fluff. How does that help your life? How does that help your family? How does that help the culture? They don't. The Tim Black Show is different. Tim Black gives you news for people who can't stand the news. Real, authentic, researched, entertaining, on point. Don't let nobody take your cornbread. Visit www.timblacktv.com today. Get Black breaking news, politics, culture from someone you can trust. TimBlackTV.com. Join us today.
All right, guys. Thank y'all for being here. My name is Tim Black. We're back to the show. Yeah, we're good to go, man. This show is brought to you by the Tim Black Wolfpack. Members of the Tim Black Wolfpack are the supporters of the Tim Black Show. They keep us from being able to go on rants like the one I just went on. Because we're not funded by the Democrats or the Republicans or any parties. Not the Green Party, not the People's Party, not the Socialist Party of America. None of them. We're funded by people like you. So go to jointimblack.com to become a member today, starting only $5. Keep us righteous, Johnson, and keep us right too. Keep us on point. Sometimes you got to keep us on point. All right. Yeah, we're gonna keep it moving, man. Let's keep it going.
I am ADOS, American Descendants of Slaves. I am a Black American, and I am an American. I'm going to present my case in support of House Bill 318, as it is time for my unapologetic truth to be shared with all of you. First, as a people, we need to recognize that it's not just the numbers that matter, but also where the immigrants come from and the culture they bring with them to another country. As a social scientist report, all cultures are not equal. Some immigrants come and believe they can function in isolation, refusing to adapt. They have come to our country for many reasons, but I suggest they must assimilate, adapt to the culture of the country they wish to live in. No country is going to allow people to come in and not acknowledge its constitution, legal systems, and laws. They will not tolerate it. So do you think I can go to another country and set up my own rules to live by, use the language I choose, and then tell that country that you must speak my language? That's not going to happen, nor should it. As a country, the United States has been more tolerant than most other countries. Other countries are making it much more difficult to get citizenship. We have been naive. We have been exploited and abused by the different tactics to gain citizenship in America. It's time to wake up. Global migration in the past was not projected to be as it is today. We must establish new rules to address a distinct type of migration that we are facing in our country, state, and cities. It's time to turn the conveyor belt off and adopt a global migration suitable for the times that we're in. And that is not destabilizing our communities. See, it was my ancestors who came over as slaves, built this country with a strain on their backs. They sweat pouring from their bodies in the rice fields, the cotton fields, and the tobacco farms for this country. Lived as servants and was the footstool, I said the footstool, for far too many feet to step on. So today, if you ask me to line up behind another group of people to raise awareness about their plight, I unapologetically say no.
Next on deck.
Yeah, and that, my friends, that hold on. Hold on. That, my friends, that's a council person, man. That's a politician right there. That is a actual politician. She's from North Carolina, Democrat. Now, see, when I say I can't say the Democratic Party, that doesn't mean I don't like that I have a problem with every single Democrat, because not all Democrats are the same. But that party apparatus, I got a problem with. But this sister right here, I support her. She sounds a lot different than Jasmine Crockett, doesn't she? Sounds a lot different than Jasmine Crockett. Sounds a lot different than Jim Clyburn. Don't sound nothing like Maxine Waters. In fact, just look. Zoran don't sound like her. Zohan Mamdani, he don't sound like that. Yeah, see, we got some high-hatting progressives, some limousine liberals, some porcelain progressives right now talking about how if you're not getting behind Zohan Mamdani, something wrong with you. Do you hear how this woman is talking about Black Americans and the duty that America owes to Black Americans? That's the way we want our politicians. That's the way I want our politicians to talk. That's the way I want them to advocate. And that's the way I want them to govern from that standpoint. And that's the way I want them to legislate from that standpoint. Karen Hunter, do you hear this? Why weren't you holding Jasmine Crockett to this level of advocacy? Roland Martin, why weren't you holding Jasmine Crockett to this level of advocacy for Black Americans? Why is it, Roland Martin, I've never had you, I've never seen you hold anybody to this kind of standard for standing up for Black Americans? Last but not least, Roland Martin, why aren't you standing for Black Americans like this woman is, like this sister is? When you talk like this, when you advocate for Black Americans, when you speak the truth about Black Americans, they call you xenophobic. The only time they want to hear from Black people when them Black people are using the currency that we have, the struggle that we have to help somebody else. That's the only time they want to hear from us. And too many times, we're willing to trade in everything we have to get a little bit for ourselves, and we'll use our legacy of pain and suffering. We'll use all the story of Black people to help another group just so that we individually can get something. That's Al Sharpton's entire story. That's Benjamin Crump's entire story. I know them people being between a rock and a hard place. And without a good lawyer, maybe they would get nothing. But I want you still to understand the cannibalistic nature of what they're doing. You know what I'm saying? Still understand where I'm coming from. Her name is Representative Carla D. Cunningham out of North Carolina. She stood on business. I want to give a shout out to Woods. That's all I know is his name is Woods on X. Because that right there, that was everything, family. Everything. All right, y'all.
With Tim Black.
You know what? I saw this video I think it's like a month old. And I didn't do it then, and it's always a problem. It's a struggle when the Breakfast Club talks about shit because they're all about a big conglomerate company called iHeart, and they put copyrights on everything that you use from their program. So it's always difficult to comment on a Breakfast Club clip. And even if I have to cut out where she was talking, so bear with me, I will have to say. Angela Rye went on this tirade about how, first of all, she criticized the Obamas as if she was doing something, saying that the Obamas are out of touch. But not because they didn't get a whole hell of a lot done for Black Americans when they were in power. And now they have a whole lot to say about the plight of America. As if they weren't two of the most powerful people on the globe for almost 8 fucking years. Let that sink in. Who sits in a... Imagine being probably the most powerful person in the universe, in the known universe, for 8 years, and then getting out of office, and then talking about, oh man, the world's really got problems. So anyway, Angela is only saying these things because it's so cold out there and there's really no room for her to do her crying or whatever enabling BS that she does. It's ineffective, lame, a victim that she likes to play. There's no way to do that. But to come out here and throw, so I'm fine. I'm fine with you criticizing Obama. I don't give a shit. Criticize him. But be clear, guys. Yeah, there are going to be some cuts and snap benefits. She's talking like the world is on fire. If the world's on fire, it would have been a good idea to run a better candidate, not a garbage candidate that no one wanted. No one wanted Kamala. The Democrats didn't even want Kamala. So when you say Obama's coming out here saying, be tougher, how about be smarter? How about be a better party? How about be a party that actually listens to constituents and gives the people what they want instead of telling people what they want and then chiding them when they reject it? That would be a smart move to make. That's the type of leadership you should have. Fighting and being tougher on Trump is pointless. He's president. You're not. It's over. It's a wrap. This is dumb shit. But when she gets out and she talks specifically, let's talk about those SNAP benefits. Yes, Black Americans are 20% of those who receive SNAP benefits. 20 to 22% of SNAP benefit recipients are Black Americans. Since we're only 14% of the population, that means we are slightly over the national average. So that's true, and it will infect us. But know this, the majority of those impacted are people that are not American citizens. But Angela Rye wants to conflate those things. Yes, there are going to be some work requirements that are a pain in the ass, particularly for people that have a hard time finding work. Remember when I talked about the immigration issue? Remember when I was talking about that? And y'all said I was being xenophobic. So let me get this right. We got people that are getting SNAP benefits who might lose those benefits and need to find jobs within a certain amount of time before they get their benefits cut. And I'm saying people that should not be here, people that are not legally in this country, when I say should not be here, are people that are not legally citizens or have a status to be here, who are effectively trespassing. They should not be employed. So we should get the employer and them up out of here. Those people are going to lose their SNAP benefits. Those people who should not be here, who have not gone through the process, those are part of the people, the number of people that will have their SNAP benefits reduced. It's arguable that they shouldn't have got them to begin with. You understand what I'm saying? Because once again, they are not American citizens. A lot of what Angela Rye, then she goes on to talk about we're losing our civil rights. And then after all of the bloviating and all of the posturing and Charlemagne chiming in, yeah, I know it's bad. Then she admits she's talking about people that are not green card holders, not temporary permanent citizens or status, people that have not been granted asylum, being deported without going through courts again. They've already been rejected asylum. Or they came in illegally and have now been found to be here illegally. If you're found to be here illegally, why we got to find out if you should be able to stay? You here illegally. If someone breaks into your house, do we got to find out? Typically, an officer would just look at you like, is this person on your lease? And you'd say no, and they'd be like, that's what we do. What is wrong with finding somebody under your bed that don't pay rent and grabbing them and putting them out? How is that a violation of human rights? I would consider it a violation of human rights for them to have to stay and for me to have to put up with them. It would be a violation of my human rights and my citizen rights to have to live with people who are undocumented, who nobody knows. It's bad enough that we got creeps that live down the streets who have all types of PDF files on their computers, who y'all put in a little database, but you don't stop them from living around me and my children. That's bad enough. Mean to tell me we got people in this country, we got people that live around me who you know haven't been through any process to even be no background. How you gonna have a background check on somebody who's not in any system in our country? How safe is that? Not safe at all. So what about the human rights on the citizens' rights of the American citizens who you're subjecting to this just so you can feel like a better person? I got an idea. Want to feel like a better person? Sponsor them. That's right, Angela Rye. You, Tiffany Cross, Andrew Gillum, you, Joy Reid, Abby Phillip. All y'all form Kumbaya and start a convent. Holla at Kanye West, right? I know that Charlemagne is in a business deal with Kevin Hart. Once y'all kumbaya up, get some land together and start a tribe out in Idaho, right? Out in Idaho or someplace, right? Somewhere flat. And you guys make it the refugee of black ninjas, of ninjas that want to help immigrant ninjas. And y'all build that up and y'all create your own community, an oasis in the Midwest, right? Where out in Wyoming somewhere, that'd be good. Nobody will mess with you. Just make sure it ain't on Native American land because they will come get your ass. Because they don't play that. That's what you do. Problem solved. And now all you ninjas, all you kind-hearted, elitist ass ninjas who don't have to live around none of this, whose schools are not bursting at the seams with people, with kids who came across the border who don't speak English. Huh? But people in your neighborhoods have got to fight against them for housing. Meanwhile, they get driver's licenses and vouchers and programs. Look, you bite the bullet, spend some of your Apple iHeart money, spend some of your Black Effect podcast money, spend some of your Heart Productions money, spend some of that on helping these people that you advocate for, because you damn sure and not advocating for Black Americans. You are advocating for immigrants. And I'll end it on this. I have no problem with you advocating for immigrants. I have no problem with you advocating for the undocumented immigrant. I have no problem with you doing that. I just have a problem with you lying and saying you're advocating for us. You need to take our names off your paperwork. Take our names, take Black American, delineate, take us off your paperwork, take us off your resume, take us off your place of business, take us off your incorporation papers and your 501c36210, whatever the hell it is. Take us off and keep our names out of your mouth. Go work for them. All right. I didn't know I was going to open up a couple cans of whoop ass tonight, but, you know, hey, you're welcome. I ain't playing with y'all.
And that is the thing that is really troubling me.
Next on deck with Tim Black.
A smack across the face, a gun pulled, and then the man who took that swing and his brother running away down an aisle of the store. This 70-second video
actually started before then when Mr. Hernandez was driving the...
Now look, this is a prime example of what I've been talking about, how social media is very deceptive, and we cannot allow ourselves to be fooled. We can't allow ourselves to be fooled by what we see initially and about the wave, because there's a persistent anti-Black wave that occurs on these platforms because there's so many. There's so many bigots in the country. It is very advantageous for any platform to gravitate and to uphold and pump out and recirculate negative Black content because it is so welcomed. It is so welcomed by those bigots. And sadly to say, some Black people also consume it. Okay, so we got a lot of problems, right? But this is a perfect example of that. This clip, I forgot who shared it, but somebody on X shared this clip. And if you look at the beginning of the clip,
with Tim Black.
A smack across the face, a gun pulled, and then the man who took that swing and his brother running away down an aisle.
Okay, so you see a Black man slap someone. And this looks like, I don't know what this is, a Latino man at the bottom. So the big guy at the top looks like he slapped the man at the bottom here. And from the naked eye, if you just saw that, you'd be like, okay, they got what was coming to them. They struck first. But see, there are things that aren't on this videotape. And when it's better to do a video that's 30 seconds or even 15 seconds, I know I'm in the business. You start asking these large language models, hey, I'm gonna put some videos, I'm gonna put this video, a short video. It'll say 15 seconds is best, 20 seconds is best. The shorter the better. So it's better for the algorithm that your video basically have no context. So that people watch it on a loop and just keep watching it and watching it. And if it has violence in it, the better. And if it has violence against Black people, even better. If it has violence, it has mixed race. If it's not just black people with mixed race, ooh, even better, right? Because it doesn't matter. It's what people react to, right? It's not that the algorithms are racist. I'm not saying it. I'm saying the reaction that it gets from the people that watch it make the algorithm favor that type of content because they know that's the content that people prefer. That's why you see it so much. So this video is a prime example. See, look at it, you say, oh man, this black guy, this big black guy hits this little white guy or Latino guy, which I call white guy, and then the Latino guy gets mad.
A smack across the face, a gun pulled, and then the man who took that swing and his brother running away down an aisle of the store. This 70-second video
actually started before then when Mr. Hernandez was driving the wrong way down a one-way street. The Garretts flagged him down to tell him he was going the wrong way, and he started an argument with them and then followed them to the station.
And Lotvin says family have told Kansas City police there's a witness to that road rage, but they won't interview her. Byron Garrett's 7-year-old daughter, who was in the car. The exclusive video obtained by Fox 4 shows Hernandez walk in the store, and exactly 30 seconds later, Taylor takes that swing and Hernandez pulls the gun from his waistband.
We don't know what was said because both of the Garretts are dead and there's no audio, but he clearly continued this road rage situation inside the store.
Fox 4 isn't showing the graphic video of what happens next as he runs after them with gun drawn, but it's what happens after that when prosecutors say both men fall, appearing to be struck by the gunfire, that Lotvin finds disturbing.
Mr. Hernandez stood over them at that point and kept shooting, took 3 to 4 steps back, then went back toward them and pistol whipped them.
Next on deck.
So understand what I'm saying here. That video you just saw, which was on other platforms cut. You just see a guy start firing after someone hits him. And it's FAFO. No. Outside, that guy who was shooting was driving the wrong way and on street. He was down there, he was driving up a one-way street. And they were telling him, no, you're going the wrong way. He cursed them out. They were going in the store. He followed them into the store. Proceeded to curse him out, probably provoked the black guy to hit him so he could shoot him. Then he proceeds to not just shoot them once, but several times. And then when they fail, he stood over them, shooting them several more times. And since they weren't dead yet, he pistol whipped them. But that's not in the video. All you see in the video that you'll find on X and TikTok is this Latino guy being hit by the black man. And him pulling out his gun and them running, and then it cuts off. And the comment sections are full of people saying, see, that's how you gotta treat those ninjas. They got what they deserve, FAFO.
With Tim Black.
Especially a boy. I came from a household where it was just a mom. I had my grandfather and I had my pops, but there was no man in the household. I started arguing with females once I started to go through things. It got physical orders. You know why? Because I was an emotional boy.
I saw this video, guys, and I've shown you a lot of videos tonight. This might be one of the most unsettling videos that I'm going to show you tonight. And there's no one that's going to be hurt at all. There's going to be no violence whatsoever in this video. That's not why it's unsettling. It's unsettling because if this type of thing persists, I don't know how we fix it. I don't know how we fix it, Johns. I'm going to play this from the top. This is a problem. Maybe Dennis Sperling and I, when we have our conversation, we'll talk about this. Let's go from the top.
Especially a boy. I came from a household where it was just a mom. I had my grandfather and I had my pops, but there was no man in the household. I started arguing with females once I started to go through things. It got physical orders. You know why? Because I was an emotional boy. I didn't have nobody in the household to say, okay, look, this is not how you go about it. Go to the gym. I had to learn this from YouTube. Read books. Hold on, let me finish. I had to read books. Go on YouTube. Do these different avenues I had to learn. Yes, grandpa telling me certain things, pops telling me certain things. But when you have a man in a household, the chances of that boy that's becoming a man to grow up emotional, 80% of the people that's in jail came from single household mothers. Meaning this, if I'm in a club and a nigga step on my sneakers, yo bro, what's up, bro, what you doing? Now guess what? Somebody died, somebody going to jail. You know why? Because that boy wasn't raised in a household with men. That's the problem in society, because females with the mindset that I don't need a man. That's the reason why we have females in this generation that's having kids that I don't need a man. Now they growing up without fathers. Now y'all raising emotionalized boys.
No. That's not even everybody's situation. That's not even everybody's situation.
When you're raising.
When I saw that video, man, it made me feel just, man, it's just one of those things, man. You know what I'm saying? It's after all that pouring his heart out, the brother who said that is a conservative, man. And one thing we have in common is the need for family. We support families. And families, we know the family structure is important, you know? And I know I've made sacrifices in my life to keep my family as tight as I can. And I had this young man here saying, this is my experience. He's talking to a group of women and he's saying, this is my experience. And basically, it went in one ear and out the other. And instead of listening, they wanted to defend themselves, probably because they don't have men and have kids. They don't have husbands and they have kids. They want to defend, even though he's saying, I went in jail, 80% of the men that are there don't have dads. That should shut you up. You should just listen, but no. No, and see, I believe the Democratic Party aids this type of shit. You say, Tim Black, why do you think the Democratic Party got something to do with it? Well, the Democratic Party will praise black women for doing nothing. Just being a black woman, they praise them. Let black women lead. Have they done something? Why should Kamala be a leader? First of all, she ain't even black. So why should an Indian Jamaican woman be leader? Call her that, okay? And then tell me why. Let women of color lead. Okay, why? Why should she lead? What has she demonstrated that shows she know anything this guy's talking about? Why should she lead? It's all identity politics. There's nothing substantive. And look, I get it. There are people, all they worry about is their bank account, man. That's all they care about. A lot of these people that I run into, that I've dealt with in the media space, who are exalted or have these positions, they're not stand-up people. They don't have a whole bunch of ethics. A lot of them are very cowardly and greedy, and they just look at money. So when you say identity politics, they only support it because they're part of the identity they think will get ahead. But here's the kicker. If at the end of the day, it's not aiding our community and it's putting us backwards, what good is it? But see, they're not looking at the collective. They're looking at themselves and they're thinking, I'm gonna get a job. See, competence does matter. What someone will do, what they will contribute matters. Now, I'm not on that white people should get promoted when they haven't shown that they can contribute. I ain't on that either. Get what I'm saying? I'm not on that. I'm not on questioning black people if they have the credentials. But what I'm saying is, if you can't tell me what a woman is, ain't much you can tell me about family life. I'm sorry. If you don't have the heart, if you don't have the courage, if you don't have the ability to know the difference between a man and a woman, how can I trust you on anything else? That means you're just going to fall in line with all this culture crap. In this video, this young man said he grew up without a dad, which made him mimic women. There are things women can get away with that men will end up spending the rest of their life in jail over, or a large portion of it. not so forgiving when it's a black man who did it. So we don't have time to learn late. We don't have the luxury of being overlooked, of overlooking these things, because when it comes for us, when we get taught, you don't want to find out in jail. You don't want to find out doing 20 years. You don't want to find out with a rap sheet that's going to limit your opportunities. You still have opportunities. You can make it what you make it. But what I'm saying is, there is no guarantee. It's hard enough raising kids. Believe me, I know, Johnson. I know this. It is no picnic. And there's no guarantee, even if you do stay with your wife or husband, that everything's going to be great for your kids, because there is no such thing. I wish I could tell you there is. But you know what there is? There is peace of mind that you gave the child all you could give them. You gave them the best you could give them. You gave them a functional home with a foundational start. And that's a hell of a lot more than most people get. Well, a hell of a lot more than most black kids get. The problem is sometimes by the time those kids figure that out, they are so far gone down the road, it doesn't help. Anyway, shout out to the young man who tried to articulate his situation, and he did a good job of doing that. One last hurdle you got to get over, young man. And I mean this from the bottom of my heart and nothing but love, brother, young king. One last thing. You needn't explain yourself. You need not explain yourself to those women. You ain't got to explain. They don't have to get it. You have to get it. And the woman that you choose to be with, she has to get it. But those women do not have to get it. I'm up here, I'm holding a podcast. This is my show, right? I'm choosing to speak to the world. But if I didn't have a podcast, I wouldn't be speaking to everybody trying to convince them of the Democratic Party. So you're not holding a podcast, and you don't need to convince them. You're right. And them agreeing with you does not change that. Or them disagreeing with you doesn't change it either. All right? All right. I think we got one more, Johnson, then we out of here. Thank you to my moderators, Buck Bewley and Ebony. Thank you for what you do. We're about to shut it down, but let's see what we got.
Next on deck with Tim Black.
So they cultivated, they worked the land.
Are
What did
you
a white
happy
person
to
do?
be in an America?
I'm not.
Living in a white America?
I'm not.
You're
I don't
not
live in a
happy
white
to be
America. I do not.
Where do you live?
I live in a black America.
Is that in America? That's in
a black America,
right?
but in a black America, I don't live. There's no such thing as a white America.
So you don't like the idea of white history month?
There is no such thing as white history.
You lie.
There's no such thing as that though.
You lie is white history
Just
month.
because you say, and look, standing in a garage, you can stand in a garage all day long and say you're a Cadillac, but that don't make you a Cadillac.
8 years of white history month.
But we don't know what history is there that the white people are supporting. What history? The only history the white people have is when they ran into the Capitol. That's the only thing white people will be known for.
Think about this. White men founded and created the greatest country.
They didn't create.
On the
What did they create? Did they make
America.
Did they make the flag? Did they make roads? Did they make school lessons?
Let me
Did
ask
they
you
cook
this.
food? Black people did all. Indigenous people did all of that.
You know, Jesse Lee Peterson, man, he guy's like a comic book character, man. I don't know. I just ran across this video. I thought it was hilarious. He's always praising white Americans. You know what I never see him do? What you will never see Jesse Lee Peterson do is ask anybody white anything that's critical of white folks, ever. And that's why white people love him so much. 98% of Jesse Lee Peterson's viewers are white. But he'll never ask a white person a critical question unless it's a, beta male, or beta male. And it's funny that he would call anybody beta male when, I'm just saying, Jesse doesn't have his past is rather controversial. But look, what I'm saying is, Jesse Lee Peterson is a cartoon character, but just know this, Jesse Lee Peterson is not a poor man. He's been doing this for several years. Him and that crazy-ass at-law preacher church dude, they're funded. They're funded by the bigots. The bigots be funding them. They're funded well by the bigots, Johnson. Yeah. I don't know what this sister talking about, but I support her. Just say white people don't have no history. They got a history, and a lot of it's bad, but no. It is a lot of bad history in that, though. Yeah. But I know Jesse does bring that out you. I sat down, I had an interview with Jesse. I went on Jesse's show about 5 years ago. He tried to bait me, and he had no comebacks for anything that I knew. Like, he didn't know anything. He just asked me, what else a man, Mr. Black? What is a man? He asked me crazy questions, but I did not take the bait with Jesse. It's funny. It's on his channel. Not to promote him. I just want people to know I've been around. That's all. If I don't tell you, you won't know. You won't know that I did that. Yeah. Fun times. What else is Jesse gonna say? Is Jesse gonna leave us with a laugh?
Indians,
People didn't
Asians.
do that.
Yes, we did. Black people were the first people of fancy dining. No white person knew how to cook for themselves. Every slave worked in a house. So no white person cooked.
Hold on.
Okay, go.
Hold on. Black people don't build, they only destroy.
No, we don't. Some do. White people only destroy. We could say the same thing about white people.
But let me ask, do you love white people?
I do not.
You don't love white people?
I do not.
Are you a Christian?
Yes, I am.
How can you be a Christian and not love white people?
I love Kurt Franklin. I love Juanita Bynum. I got black people to love.
How can you be a Christian?
What do I love about a white person? What does white people do that's Christian-like?
How can you be a Christian and not love white people?
Yeah, it's just, like, I would not have a problem with the question if it was remotely possible that he would ask a white person walking by the same question. But he would never do that. Now, in America, considering the history of America, if you really wanted to help solve race relations in America, who would you be asking that question of? The people that used to have picnics where they would pick a black person to lynch, and everybody gather around and make postcards of lynching those people? Would that be the group of people to ask them, do they love black people? Yeah, I think it would be. But he would never do that. Instead, he would ask the people that were getting lynched, their descendants, how they feel about white people. And then when they answer in the negative, then he questions their Christianity, their faith, their religion. It's just crazy, man. And then this is how he is, I don't know, 3 million, 2 million strong. Been online for 20 years. I bet you he has editors. I know he does. Has a whole staff of people keeping his system running. And they go, poor Tim Black sitting over here talking about the Democrats, and people going, why are you going to say that, Tim? Be nice to the immigrants. Don't be more critical of Trump. Lord help us, man. Lord help us. All right, guys, I'm Tim Black. Thank y'all for being here. We do this, what the hell? I'm just going to go out here and say it. We do this Sunday, Monday, Wednesday, and Fridays. Sunday, Monday, Wednesday, and Fridays. This is our last Thursday, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for being a part of our last Thursday. Yep. Our numbers show us it was Thursdays, just ain't our day. But I will be putting out content. I also noticed that a lot of you do not subscribe to the channel. Either that or you do not watch our clips. You only watch the live show. I don't know what to do, man. So what I've been doing is I've been trying to get both audiences to come together, because I need the people that watch clips to come to the live show. I need the people that watch live shows to watch clips. Because that would really help us here on the channel. So say, maybe you can't join the Tim Black Wolfpack. Maybe you can't do $5 a month. I get it. You know what I'm saying? Things are tight. You can't spend $5 a month. But you can watch clips of the show, and that helps a lot. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, that would be great. And also subscribe and turn on notifications. You might ignore them, but it would help that occasionally when I catch you, that, you know, you can respond to the notification. Just little ways to help out. By the way, I put out a new ebook a couple days ago. It's called 10 Ways Immigration Hurts Working Class Black Americans. You're welcome. Yeah, that's free. Now, if you join us on Patreon, you get that as a perk. It's one of those ebooks I wrote. That's like my 4th free ebook. I don't charge for my ebooks. I want to put information out. I want to make sure people get it. So I write it myself because it's not freely available. You know what I'm saying? They ain't talking about it on MSNBC. You ain't going to hear them talk about it on CNN. So we got to put the information together and give it to the people so the people have it. And sometimes the video it goes in one ear, out the other. If you got an ebook, maybe every once in a while you can open it up. You know what I'm saying? And it just helps you remember better. I mean, I remember things better when I read them. That's all. That's me. So go to jointimblack.com or find me on Patreon at Tim Sake Live and get the ebook. Sign up. It's Tim Black. It's Wolfpack Core, the Wolfpack Core level. In fact, if you pay to join any level, you get the ebook. Ebook is free for anybody at any level. Okay? All right. That's it, Johnson. Let's go to comments, man. Where are the people, man? Where are the people, the people, the people? AT's in the AT, what's up, man? You just paid a whole year. AT just paid a whole year in one sticker. Man, go here, bruh. Go here, bruh. I appreciate you, AT, man. Thank you, sir. I know you ain't have to do that, man. Thank you, AT. Got me out here doing the thing, man. Jesse, what's up, fam? I ain't gonna give up, Jesse. But I gotta talk. I gotta let people know what's going on, you know what I'm saying? And I don't wanna be, you know what I'm saying? I don't wanna press people, but I gotta push them. Cause if I don't say nothing, they say the squeaky wheel don't get the oil, you know what I'm saying? So I gotta do it. The squeaky wheel gets the oil, so I gotta do it. Thank you. Tay Diggs, what's up, fam? Debate about what? You and I should have a debate? What, you built a platform, Tay? Tay, you got a platform? Let me know, man. Let me know. Email me, man. I didn't know you got content. You a content creator? If you're a content creator, send it my way, man. Tim at timblacktv.com. I'll come on your podcast. All right? There you go. LBJ. There it is. If you can convince the lowest white man he's better than the best color man, he won't notice you picking his pocket. Hell, he'll give somebody to look down on and he'll empty his pockets for you. Yeah, hell, give him someone to look down on. That's it, Johnson. I believe that too. I believe it. I do. Damn. Damn, Buck. What's up, Buck? Buck dropping truth bombs. Buck dropping truth bombs, man. What's going on, Buck? I didn't know Buck was up. Buck up here dropping truth bombs. Ebony dropping truth bombs. What's going on, man? Y'all cry. Yeah, what's up? Wesley Pipes up in this joint. Man, let me get out of here. Wesley, what's up, man? What's going on, Wes? Damn. Man, go here, fam. Man. That's crazy, fam. Yeah. All right, fam. Hey, look, guys. So we got insurance on our HVAC, right? So they came and fixed it today. That's why I'm back in the jacket, man. Because we got it. We had to put a new capacitor in. Yeah, so we got the new capacitor in, and we had to pay the deductible. It wasn't that much, and so we good. And I know that's TMI, but y'all my people, man. You know what I'm saying? We just having a conversation. So I want y'all to know that's why I'm back in the jacket. You know what I'm saying? Just cause it's chilly down here right now. So man, yeah, man. Mrs. Black, she finally got me to come out today, man. I ain't got nothing but love for y'all. I want to thank people that are being patient. I want to thank my people for being patient with me. Realize when I get it wrong, I'm mad, man. You know, I when I feel like I can do better, I try to come back and do better. You know what I'm saying? I can't guarantee I'm going to always get it right, but I can guarantee you I'm going to always care about getting it right. You understand what I'm saying? All right? I'm always trying to do right. You feel what I'm saying? That's all I can do, man. Man, woman to man, man to woman, man to man. That's all I can do. You know what I'm saying? So, ain't no perfection, but, you know, we could try. I care about y'all. Thanks for caring about this show. Thanks for supporting this show. Hopefully it's beneficial to you. You find value in it. Not just because I'm black, but because you find value in what we do. Remember, boycott African Braid Shop. Boycott the African Braid Shop. Starts today. And I say boycott the Latino braid shop and boycott the Asian braid shop. We need to shop black and circulate our money within the black community. The only people that got a problem with that, in my opinion, are people that want our money. Because we're the only group that got to tell each other to do that because we have a certain history. You ain't got to tell the Asian community or Koreans to shop with Koreans. They already doing that. Yeah, if you look, see, there's something called money bouncing within your community. How often a dollar passes hands within those communities shows how much those communities spend money within their own communities. Right? So that's important to know. In fact, I think tomorrow I'm going to have a conversation with Toraine Walker. And when we talk, me and Torin and I have a conversation, we're gonna bring up a lot of important points. All right, guys, I got number love for you. Remember, don't let anybody. Hey, look, D. Lee talking about Justin Lee Peterson. I know that. D. Lee, get him, D. I know what it is, fam. Lord have mercy. All right. Don't let nobody take your cornbread, baby. That's your cornbread. It's my job to help you keep it. But you got to keep it too. Don't go giving it away. Keep your cornbread. This is the last Thursday for the Tim Black Show on a Thursday. But we'll be back tomorrow because tomorrow's Friday. I love my Fridays, even though people be out. Sometimes they don't go out. They come here. And as always, folks, before we go, shout out to my babies. Man, I'm so blessed to have my daughters. Wow. I love my sons, but I love my daughters too, man. And I got to say, where are my girls at? Oh, there they go.